The Lena is the easternmost of the three great Siberian rivers that flow into the Arctic Ocean. It is the 11th longest river in the world and has the 9th largest watershed. It is also the third largest river in Asia. It is the largest among the rivers whose watershed is entirely within the Russian territorial boundaries. Course: rising at a height of 1,640 meters at its source in the Baikal Mountains south of the central Siberian plateau, 7 kilometers west of Lake Baikal. The Lena flows northeast, being joined by the Kiringer River, Vitim River and Olyokma River. From Yakutsk it enters the lowlands and flows north until joined by its right-hand tributary, the Aldan River, and its most important left-hand tributary, the Vilyuy River. After that, it bends westward, flowing besides the Verkhoyansk Range, and then it makes its way nearly due north to the Laptev Sea, a division of the Arctic Ocean emptying southwest of the New Siberian Islands by the Lena Delta, 30,000 square kilometers in area, and traversed by 7 principal branches, the most important being the Baikovsky Channel, farthest east. Landmarks in the upper section west and northwest of Lake Baikal. The river flows mostly north, 4,400, from a small lake in the Baikal Range, in the Baikal-Lena Reserve, 10 kilometers west of Lake Baikal, 1,800 meters in altitude. The Lena flows north 19 kilometers, losing 600 meters in altitude, and becomes passable by rafts. It turns west and then south, losing another 600 meters in 128 kilometers, to Chanchur, where there is a ranger station. 4,222, Kachug, start of navigation, road to Irkutsk. 4,197, Verkhoyansk, mouth of the Kalenga River, northwest through mountains, Tutura River. 4,108, Zhigarlovo, start of passenger service, including hydrofoil to Asia.It. In the central section the river flows mostly northeast. 3,705, Asia.It, northwest of the northern tip of Lake Baikal. In Cossack times this was the site of a portage between the Yenisei and Lena. Today it is the point where the Baikal-Amur mainline railway crosses the Lena on a bridge, and it handles 80% of cargo in the Sakha Republic region. 3,397, Kirensk, port and former Cossack portage. 3,101, the Devil's Path of section treacherous in flood. 3,096, Shkeki, a narrow section with cliffs and twists. Sakha Republic border. 2,955, Vitim and Vitim River from the south. We are now northeast of Lake Baikal. River widens. Many dead trees in the water. 2,931, Pelduy River, ship repair company and salt mines. 2,744, Lensk, the most important port between Kirensk and Yakutsk. Road 230 kilometers north to the Mir mine. Here was a stopping point of the Perlinsky Tract, a former courier route. Lena turns southeast and then northeast. 2,587, Chepivo, 2,547, Macha, 2,937, Olyokma River from the south. River widens to 2 kilometers and has extensive floodplains. 2,213, Uritsko, 2030 to 1850, Lena pillars, cliffs along the right bank. 1937, Sinsk River and petroglyphs. 1820, Moksigolik, ferry and paved road to Yakutsk on the opposite bank. River turns north. 1805, Pokrovsk, downstream, Tobago Cliffs, Narrows, power line and planned site of bridge for the Amur-Yakutsk mainline railroad. Nizhny Bestyuk, 13 kilometers southeast of Yakutsk on the left bank. Lena Highway comes in from the south. The Kolyma Highway to the Pacific starts nearby. In the lower section the Lena flows mostly north, through Yakutsk and meeting the Aldan River from the east, at 1,373 kilometers from the mouth. The Lena passes by the Sangar coal mines, then meets the Viliwi River from the west, passes into the Arctic Circle, Ografina Island and into the Lena Delta before reaching its mouth, 5 degrees north of the Arctic Circle at Tiksi, on the mainland east to the Delta Basin. The total length of the river is estimated at 4,400 kilometers. The area of the Lena River basin is calculated at 2,490,000 square kilometers. Gold is washed out of the sands of the vitamin the Oleokma, and mammoth tusks have been dug out of the delta tributaries. The Kiringa River flows north between the Upper Lena and Lake Baikal. The Vitim River drains the area northeast of Lake Baikal. The Oleokma River flows north. The Amur River makes the long curve southeast and parallel to the Lena and flows into the Aldan. The Aldan River makes similar curve southeast of the Aldan and flows into the Lena north of Yakutsk. The Mao River, a tributary of the Aldan, drains an area almost to the Sea of Okhotsk. The T-shaped Chona-Viliwi River system drains most of the area to the west. History. It is commonly believed that the Lena derives its name from the original Ivanov name Eliuin, which means the large river, according to folk tales related a century after the fact. In the years 1620–23 a party of Russian fur hunters under the leadership of Demid Piander sailed up Lower Tunguska and discovered the proximity of the Lena and either carried the boats there or built new ones. In 1623 Piander explored some 2,400 kilometers of the river from its upper rocky part to its wide flow in the central Yakutia. In 1628 Vasily Bugor and 10 men reached the Lena, collected Yasik from the natives and founded Kirinsk in 1632. In 1631 the voivoda of Yeniseisk sent Pyotr Beketov and 20 men to construct an ostrog at Yakutsk. From Yakutsk other expeditions spread out to the south and east. The Lena Delta was reached in 1633. Baron Eduard von Toll, accompanied by Alexander von Bunge, carried out an expedition to the Lena Delta area and the islands of New Siberia on behalf of the Russian Imperial Academy of Sciences in 1885. They explored the Lena Delta with its multitude of arms that flow towards the Arctic Ocean. Then in spring 1886 they investigated the New Siberian Islands and the Yana River and its tributaries. During 1 year and 2 days the expedition covered 25,000 kilometers, of which 4,200 kilometers were up rivers, carrying out geodesic surveys en route. Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov may have taken his alias Lenin from the river Lena when he was exiled to the central Siberian plateau, but the origin of his pen name is uncertain. Delta. At the end of the Lena River there is a large delta that extends 100 kilometers into the Laptev Sea and is about 400 kilometers wide. The delta is frozen tundra for about 7 months of the year, but in May the region is transformed into a lush wetland for the next few months. Part of the area is protected as the Lena Delta Wildlife Reserve. The Lena Delta divides into a multitude of flat islands. The most important are Chiches, Aratha, Petrushka, Sagasta, Samik Arydyet, Turkan Belkidia, Sasalak Ary, Kolkhoz Tak Belkidia, Grigory Dialyuk Belki, Nurpayuolan Aratha, Misha Belkidia, Atikte Belkedia, Arongastak, Urdiuk Pastik Belki, Ag past, Aratha, Dalalak Island, Otto Ary, Alakan Ary and Ortuyuis Aratha. Turukanakumaga is a long and narrow island off the Lena Delta's western shore. One of the Lena Delta Islands, Ostrov America Cuba Aratha or Ostrov Cuba Aratha, was named after the island of Cuba during Soviet times. It is on the northern edge of the delta.